Okay, right, here we have the Libre 15.6-inch laptop, which is an EOMA68 product, and we have soldered the three main circuit boards together, and they've been laid out approximately in the order in which they will be going into the casework there. So this is the power board with a battery placed into it. We have a where are you on-off switch here, which is a soft switch, and a 5-volt DC input here. We have the wires going to the STM32F072. This includes I2C and a 3.3 volt reference voltage back to here, which powers the battery monitor chip, and provides the reference voltage for GPIO on both of these, as well as I2C reference voltage. There's also, it's a bit strange, the power button obviously is on here, but the signal goes through to here as a soft switch, which this detects, and then that will provide the reset as a reset line to here. Also the power, a bit of a mess. This is just a prototype. This board is going to be powered directly by the battery voltage, which comes out at 4.2 or so volts, which there's a 3.3 volt regulator, as I mentioned here, on this, so that provides reference voltage for that. It also powers the STM32F. 5 volt USB on the go power from here is provided to that board. The idea being that because this has a USB on the go port, which obviously is power invertible, the power can go back to this to charge up the battery, as well as run the electronics in ultra low power mode. Bit strange, but I like it. The fact that you can use that as an additional USB port, USB host port, or as a USB client, and you can power the board from the battery and from the mains voltage, or you can power the whole thing from the USB on the go port. That's kind of cool. Communication here includes 2 GPIO pins, which go to the reset and the boot pins on here, so that the STM32F072 may be firmware reflashed or reset from the CPU card. Also included is the reset line back here, so that this can power on that, so each can control either device, and also a USB port on here and some power lines. I think that's about it. There's 8 wires, don't include I2C. Yeah, I'll have to check the sheets and stuff. So yeah, you can see that it's beginning to fit together. This is the keyboard we've got at the moment. We've got another couple of keyboards arriving in the post shortly. This is the SPI based LCD, which goes that way round, so that one goes in there and that one goes in there. Replacing this with a much cheaper this screen with a much cheaper $8 board, $8 unit, which has a 50 pin connector. It'll be much easier to use. So yeah, that's it. It's getting there. Next stage is to run a a boot test after checking all the wires very carefully.